Hi, I'm Siddharth. I'm submitting this final submission for Alexa Skill Wizard Challenge on behalf of Team Lambda. So, for this, we have made Sonpari Tales skill. So, like, I would like to discuss why we built this skill. So, the problem statement was that nowadays working parents are not able to teach their children proper moral values and ethics due to the lack of time. Right. So basically, the thing is, the people or the working parents, the case in which both the parents are working, they don't they are not able to give the proper amount of time to the child, and that child is like child is being isolated from the Indian culture and heritage, right? So and these are the major problems. So earlier we had joint families, and our grandparents used to tell us the stories in a good way. Like they used to tell the story and with a proper moral value, and they used to check from time to time, like we have learned the lesson or not. So these kind of things were there. So now we wanted to convert all these things to Alexa skill. So we have built this skill named Sonpari Tales. So what are the potential values that this skill gives? So basically this cultivates a personality of a kid, and it generates strong moral values in their personality. It has very interactive UX. It will ask question, then it will say you are correct or not, and it will then again like ask another thing, and then it will move to our story. Now, and third thing I would like to mention that we are focused on vocabulary building also, because the up to 7 year old kids, basically 3 to 7 year old kids, basically they know approximately 200 words. So our story is basically will be revolving around these 200 words, and in each story will be adding extra five or two or three or five words, max to max five words, like which will be new to these year kids. So basically they will be they will be enhancing their vocabulary, and we'll be also telling stories about the Indian culture, because we have named this as a Sonpari tale. So we will tell a lot mythological stories, and suppose if we want to tell the kid that friendship is very important, so we can tell any mythological story that why friendship is important, right? And last but not the least, we are giving the Indian touch with this skill. This skill will be published and certified only in India region. So this skill trigger targets only the kids from the India. So it has Indian touch. Alexa can say Sonpari and she, ouch, and all the speech cons are there, and we are using audio from Indians in our story. So basically, this will give a very Indian touch, very interactive and immersive UX experience. So what is the flow of the skill? So what will happen is, whenever you'll say Alexa, Alexa be great user. Like I am Sonpari and I tell new stories to kids. But the thing is, I talk only with good people. To check whether you are a good people or not, I will ask you a question. Are you ready? So something kind of this. So user will say, yeah, kid will say, yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, yes. So whenever user will say yes, so Alexa will check whether user has enabled this skill today or not, because we are telling a story on a single day, right? So it means there will be, like, for a particular day there will be only one story. You can't go to next story on one day. You will have to wait for the next day, right? So it will check whether you have opened this skill today or not, and if you are not opened this skill, it will go to the next story and ask you question according to that story. So suppose you are a new customer, you are a new kid, so you will say Alexa open uh, Sonpari Tales. So it will just open the Sonpari Tales, and it will check that user has not activated this skill today. So it will say, it will it will fetch the first story and it will ask the question from the first story. And the first story is, do you think we should lie? So if the user, if the kid says yes or no, so Alexa will respond according to that. Suppose the user says yes, it means like question was, do you think we should lie? The user says yes. So Alexa will say, "Chi, it's a bad thing. Promise me that you won't do this. You won't do this, yeah, or promise that you won't tell a lie." So whenever Alexa will say this, you like kid will reply, "I promise." So now in this way, Alexa assures that kids are grasping the all the moral values, right? And then only it will say, "Here is your story," and it will recite the story, and then at the end. So coming to the implementation part, we have successfully built an Alexa skill for the proposed idea. It covers all the corner cases and doesn't give any error if the user stops the skill at any point. So essentially it handles all the cancel or stop cases, and it also have the help and the fallback intent. So I have tested it for stop or cancel at any time, and I have also powered off Alexa in between the skill, and it doesn't give any error. So that's it with it. And I would also like to mention that it also tracks a record of last played stories and its date, and it only plays new story if and only if the current date is not equal to the store date. So essentially Alexa will tell a new story um, 2 different days. So like if you are coming, if you want to hear the new story, you'll have to come tomorrow or the next day. It can't be the same day itself, right? So this is the implementation part, and I would like to mention that our skill is currently live in India region, named Sonpari Tales. You can go there and activate the skill and listen our first story. We have as of now we have developed currently developed 2 stories. One is the story of a shepherd and shepherd boy and his sheep, and the second story is a hypothetical story of a girl named, I don't know, I forgot her name, but there is a story of a girl and her doll. It is based on bullying. So we have we have made these 2 values, taking care of the proper things, the 200 word rule, and all the other things which affect the kids. So our main idea was like, there is a kid, this is the kid, and this is Alexa. So we want to feature Alexa as in role model, or Alexa, or as in fairy, or you can say Sonpari is the thing. So basically kid can assume that it is a fairy, or it is kind of person who lives in the cloud and talks with the kid. So this was the main like feature of our skill. Thank you so much with this PPT, and I would like to like demonstrate our skill.
This skill talks with children and teaches them to be a good kid and how to behave nicely. And this skill also makes sure that child is going on a right track. So I'll demonstrate this skill. So whenever you will say Alexa open Sonpari Tales, it will just trigger Alexa, and it will greet when, if the user is coming first time, it will say, "Hi, I'm Sonpari, and I tell stories to new stories to good kids. So to check whether you are a good kid or not, I'll ask you a question. So are you ready?" So the kid replies yes. So if the kid replies yes, it will say, "Okay, here is your question. Do you think we should lie?" or something kind of that question. Then the kid replies yes or no. Then according to the yes or no, Alexa replies them back. Suppose Alexa asked whether we should lie. Should we lie? So the kid replies yes. Then it will say, "Nana, it's a bad thing. You should never tell a lie. Promise me that you won't tell a lie." Then if the kid promises that "I promise" or "promise" or "yes," then Alexa will tell the story. Else it will just say, "Okay, bye. I don't talk to bad kids." Okay. So whenever this kids come next day, it will say welcome back. Do you want to learn today's lesson? Then it will ask the next day's question, right? So this type of chain of questions and stories goes on, and we are planning to make 30 stories. And one more thing, a kid can listen a story only one day. So like there is only one question and one story for one day, one specific day. So let me demonstrate this. Alexa, open Sonpari Tales.
Welcome back. You need to come tomorrow for new story. Do you want to listen today's story again?
Yes.
Here is your question. Do you think we should lie?
Yes.
Nana, it's a bad thing. Promise me you will not tell a lie.
I promise.
Here is a story for you. Once upon a time, there lived a shepherd boy who was bored watching his flock of sheep on the hill. To amuse himself, he shouted,
"Wolf! Wolf! The sheep are being chased by the wolf!"
The villagers came running to help the boy and save the sheep. But they found nothing and the boy just laughed looking at their angry faces. Seeing that there is no wolf, people got angry. They said,
"Don't cry, wolf, when there is no wolf."
The boy just laughed at them and people left. After a while, he got bored and cried wolf again to fool the villagers second time. The angry villagers warned the boy a second time and left. The boy continued watching the flock. After a while, he saw a real wolf. He panicked and cried loudly for help.
"Wolf! Wolf! Please help! The wolf is chasing the sheep!"
But this time, no one turned up to help. By evening, when the boy didn't return home, the villagers wondered what happened to him and went up the hill. They saw that boy is weeping on the hill. The boy asked angrily,
"Why didn't you people come when I called out for help? The flock is scattered."
An old villager approached him and said,
People won't believe liars, even when they tell the truth. We will look for your sheep tomorrow morning. Let's go home now.
So that is why we should not tell a lie, because lying breaks trust. Nobody trusts a liar, even when he is telling the truth. That's it with today's story. Come back tomorrow for a new story. Bye.
So you can see that I've triggered this story, this particular skill twice or thrice today. So that's why it said you have already listened to this story. To listen to new story, you need to come tomorrow. If you want to listen to this story, you can say continue, say yes or continue to continue, right? So basically this is our skill. So this skill has very interactive UI. This skill makes sure that child interacts with this skill and also learns new things. Whenever the child answers incorrectly, it tells the kid why this option is wrong, and it also asks to promise if it is relevant. Then it will say, promise me that you won't do this again, or some kind of thing. So basically this is very interactive and playful skill for kids, and I think kids will surely like it. And one more thing, we will be also releasing its English version, in Hindi version, in which Alexa will tell stories in Hindi. We will simply write stories in English font, so Alexa can recite the stories in Hindi. So that's it with the future scope. Thank you so much for giving us platform like Amazon Skill Wizard Challenge.